right, well, thanks for that very kind introduction. And since we have a pretty packed schedule, I won't say too much. I just wanted to point out that I've been to very few academic talks that are this well attended. And I wanted to, building upon that, just point out that I think there is a real benefit in controversy, in talking about difficult issues. Academics are supposed to generate new knowledge and push boundaries, but far too often we fall into sort of a stifling conservatism of comfortable agreement on seemingly sacred interpretations, which makes academia all too often a bit too predictable. And from what I know about Professor Hamilton, his career has sort of deviated from that predictable course. So I'm really excited to be here, and I will now introduce Dr. Feng Chongyi, an associate professor at the University of Technology, Sydney, and a founding member of the Australian Values Alliance, who will talk more about this book and its broader implications. So, thanks.
Thank you all. Actually, I'm jealous. I wish I could do it. Okay, such a brilliant book. Okay, because I accused as a China export. Okay, here is the body of the book. Okay, here's my body of it. This book, excellent book, is a major contribution to the scholarship in the areas of China studies, international relations, and the debate on multiculturalism. In the area of China studies, actually, welcome on board. I know that you are not China expert before you take on this task. Now you are fully qualified as a China expert now. Actually, the book shed new light on the cause and consequence of the Chinese Communist Party state, extending its influence and power beyond the boundary of China. This is a key aspect of new development of China studies in this particular globalization age. As you may know, Kevin at least know, the overwhelming majority of so-called China experts like me did not see this, or fail to see this, or sometimes deliberately provide false narrative of China that ignore this aspect of China. Especially, they may agree that China violates human rights, do not have respect for the rule of law, and done a lot of very brutal things to its citizens. But they do not want to use the term. They do not call China a dictatorship, or they refuse to accept that China is a dictatorship. So that's lucky that Professor Hamilton helped us to understand China, the communist China, as what it is, to understand the nature of this Communist Party state and its behavior home and abroad. In the area of international relations, the particular contribution of the book is to explore the aspect of value and ideological conflict between communist autocracy and the democracies over the world. Again, this has been vastly ignored by the IR scholars. So you've done a brilliant job in that. And also, the third area is that the book provides political insight into the debate on multiculturalism, especially to rebuke the ideas, the argument that multiculturalism can justify toxic ideologies, those brutal practices that violate basic human rights. Everything goes if you invoke the umbrella of multiculturalism. Professor Hamilton convincingly argued that that's not the case. And that was when I raised the book so high. We all know that we have, or at least for me, that we have three major criteria to judge an excellent academic book. One, that it chooses a good topic dealing with political issues, crucial issues. Second, it is theoretically sophisticated, often the theoretical sophistication. And third, it is solid and rich in material, in data. In terms of topic, as I already mentioned, this has been a key area that have profound implication, not only for China, for Australia, it's for the entire human being. How to deal with the remaining communist autocracy in the world actually is the headquarters of the world dictatorships. If you look at recent history, communist China was the country that stopped the wave of the third wave of democratization, blocked it. It's basically after the collapse of Soviet Union and East European communist regimes. And it somehow turned the way around to stop the wave. And then later on, guys like Putin, like other dictators, see the opportunity and turn back the history to reinstate some sort of dictatorship or authoritarian rule in other parts of the world. This is a key issue, crucial issue for us. In terms of theories, the book effectively engage those capitulationist, abusers, pragmatist, or realist, all sorts of argument to appease communist China activities in Australia and other parts of the world. They put up all sorts of argument to justify those arguments which will not be able to stand for free academic inquiry and in this society, free, open societies. But they made up all sorts of excuses or theories to justify it. And then the book, as I said, very effectively engage and debunk those false arguments. And thirdly, in terms of the material itself, this book is based on very solid data, including government documents as well as intensive interviews. Actually, I congratulate you as well as those interviewees to take the risk for the task. Because this actually run quite profound personal risk. You may know that I experienced it myself, and many of you, among you, experienced that kind of harassment or persecution by the communist regime. Okay. I just jump to two quick response to two issues raised in the book and in the media after the book was about to publish or had been after the publication. One is the accusation that book is informed by anti-Chinese racism. The other is that this book is informed by Cold War mentality. What is racism? Racism is defined as the idea that privilege one race over the others, usually resulted in discrimination against other group of people or other individuals on the basis of collective identity, race, group, ethnics. The book itself makes it a lot of criticism about the brutal behaviors and the covert activities of the Communist Party state in this country and in democracies throughout the world. It did not say anything against the Chinese. Actually, it do its best to advance the democratic rights of Australian residents with Chinese heritage and protect the Chinese residents against the abuse of the communist regime. That is not anti-Chinese. That is not racism. Okay. Actually, the other side who argue that Chinese are not capable of democracy, are not capable to enjoy the rule of law, to enjoy the freedoms, they are the real racists. They are the real racists. Okay. So, in terms of Cold War mentality, for the Chinese communists since 1949 have been always initiated successive campaigns to purge liberal and democratic element, to persecute any sort of dissident, political, religious, that did not toe the party line, suppress whatever dissenting views in the society, to ban anyone except the party state and its proxies to own or run any media. All these things, in the eyes of the critics of this book, they do not see it as Cold War mentality. When the books or others make criticism against the Chinese communist brutal activities, they say, look, you are practicing Cold War. You are informed by Cold War mentality. What a ridiculous approach. Okay. Thank you for that. Actually, the major setback of the book, I would say, maybe the only setback of the book, that is it does not quote an article. The Australian identities, the changing political identities of Chinese in Australia. written by a scholar known as Feng Chongyi. Thank you very much.